Anyway, I wanted to talk about something different now. Something I forgot about, but just remembered during the documentary. Do you guys know that PragerU has resources for children? I didn't know that until very recently. I just thought they made quick, snappy internet videos and gave out fake degrees. But apparently they have resources for people as young as kindergarten all the way up through grade school. So I wanted to quickly go through grade school again, but through the PragerU model. And I thought maybe everybody in chat today could join me as I go through Prager kindergarten all the way to Prager 6th grade and up. So let's start in grade school. Let's start with grade school. Okay. Story times, Otto's Tales. Join PragerU's favorite bulldog, Otto, from the sweet story time. By the way, this is the same university that makes propaganda pieces, how America's like doesn't have any racisms and the statues are totally about respecting America's heritage, right? This is the same institution making these. And they're already starting on this furry propaganda down here. So let's see, which one am I going to watch first? Little George and the Cherry Tree, Palma Wants to be Lady Freedom, or From Sea to Shining Sea. Let's see. Now this is in the kindergarten to 2nd grade area, so I assume it's not going to be a ton of weird stuff in this. I assume they're not going to be that blatant this early on, but I am curious to see. In this rhyming tale, we learn about the great American explorers Lewis and Clark and how our country spanned from sea to shining sea. Okay, let's see. This could be some pretty simple, some milquetoast stuff. Let's see.
Hey! You guys are early! I was just finishing my lunch. Welcome
It's
to
8 p.m.
Otto's Tales.
You should have been
Story
eating
time
earlier.
brought to you by PrEP. PragerU's resources for educators and parents. Do you mind? Hi, Otto. I would love some mustard. How sweet. Otto! This isn't real mustard. You silly dog.
I thought she was about to get out the
and
belt.
Today we're reading
Honestly.
From Sea to Shining Sea, written by Callista Gingrich and illustrated by Susan Arciero. Now, there's someone who has a very unique name in this story, and I want you to listen for her name, and let's see if you can find it by the end of the episode. Ellis the elephant loved the American tale, where courage, determination, and freedom prevail. He wanted to know how America came to be, a nation united from sea to shining.
I love it. Hey man, you remember the American Revolution and like the elephant battalion? This is weird. This is fucking weird. Number one, elephants are not native to the United States, but you know what? It's a children's show, so we got to suspend our disbelief, okay? Remember, this is kindergarten, okay, everyone? I like the little eagle they put up there, and the top left-hand corner is pretty cute.
See, the country was young and needed to elect a strong president the people would respect. George Washington had led the American Revolution and became the first president under the Constitution. Ellis read how the people searched for a place to build a new capital the nation would embrace. To honor a man who helped make America free, they founded a city called Washington, D.C.
Yo, I'm looking, so they're making the capital over here. I'm a little confused, right? I'm looking, but I don't see all the slave labor that was used to build the White House in D.C. I don't see a lot of people getting brutalized by slave drivers. I'm a little... I'm sure that's on the next page.
Congressmen and senators from each and every state met at the Capitol for political debate. Elected to serve and make big choices, they came to represent America's voices. Ellis was surprised the president could command whether Congress's bills became the law of the land.
Well, like half of the voices, like the rich white landowning voices, and definitely not the black voices. Well, 2/3 maybe.
The Constitution called for real cooperation between these two branches to govern the nation. President John Adams was second to preside, but in Washington, D.C., the first to reside. It was here that he lived with Abigail, his spouse, in a home we know today as the White House.
Also built by slaves.
Thomas Jefferson was elected president number 3 and was eager to grow the land of the free. He looked to the West for America to expand and signed a treaty with France for a large piece of land. The Louisiana Purchase added much to explore in a nation now twice as big as before. Ellis wondered why the French had agreed to the deal. For half of a continent, the price was a steal.
I'm sure the French were also wondering why they had elephants sitting in on the meeting. A little weird.
The territory treaty now settled and signed, Jefferson was curious to see what he could find. He asked his friend Meriwether Lewis to start a daring expedition to explore these new parts. Lewis knew he needed all the help he could get. The task was quite daunting, he had to admit.
Wait,
so Lewis
speaking about cotton, why exactly was the price of steel? God, no.
Bark. He wanted to bring his dear friend, William Clark. Together they assembled a talented team to join them as part of...
I love the idea of like Lewis and Clark doing its expedition, right? But they just have like an elephant with them the whole time. So they walk up to like native tribes like, hello, we're here to explore. Elephant just comes through, just demolishes everything in its path. Like, oh gosh, how are we gonna get through this beautiful, beautiful line of tree? Just blows through the tree line, just stomps its way through, just utter destruction, okay? This is the baby GOP. It's becoming the monster of today, okay? Slowly. This invasive species needs to be dealt with.
This perilous scheme. The Corps of Discovery, as the group was known, would venture together into the unknown. In Illinois, they gathered to train and prepare and strengthen themselves for the voyage they'd share. Upriver they sailed into the western frontier on a journey that would last for more than 2 years. Ellis was excited the adventure had begun. Exploring the West seemed like so much fun. But Ellis soon learned there was real work to do, making maps, taking notes, studying specimens too. The journey continued as the weeks passed by, and before very long, it was the 4th of July. To mark Independence Day for their young nation, they fired a cannon in great celebration. The explorers made new friends nearly every day as natives guided Lewis and Clark on their way. Soon they added a special friend to their crew. Her name was Sacagawea, and she helped get them through.
Does anybody know the real story? Was Sacagawea and like Lewis and Clark really all that friendly? And is this in the first time we see a black person, by the way, on the left here? I think that's a black person. I can't tell. And they're rifled up. They have a rifle. They're just equals with Lewis and Clark just going along on their day. This is the Trump 1776 project. True.
A curd is a curd.
Seek Joe Cool. Thanks for the tier 1. Oh, the Prime Gaming, actually. Wow. It was very nice of the natives to just give us America and allow us to explore. It was really nice of them. Wonder what happened to her? I think the person on the left is also supposed to be native. I can't tell. It's hard to tell. Would make sense, though.
She knew how to speak with the tribes and explain their treacherous journey across the Great Plains. Her husband came too as part of the team, both earning the voyagers' love and esteem. The North Dakota winter was terribly cold. Waiting for spring, they put their journey on hold. They selected a spot and constructed a fort near a village of Mandans who offered support. The explorers liked the new tribe they'd befriended and spent time together as the long year ended. Excited to see what the future would bring, they gathered on.
It's like, oh god, the elephant in the whole war has the paint on and the stick with the feathers on it. They got the whole get up together. He's like, ooh, I'm gonna name a football team after this. I'm sure it will be respectful. The elephant's gonna get canceled on Twitter. Cultural appropriation.
On New Year's to dance and to sing. Along the way, they encountered dangerous beasts, including animals they'd never seen in the East. One day, Mr. Lewis had a terrible scare as he came face to face with a great grizzly bear. The explorers had never seen grizzlies before, and Ellis sure hoped they would not see more. They took careful notes of the bear's every
Ellis the elephant, architect of white supremacy. Jesus.
detail, just like all discoveries they made on the trail. For the rest of their journey, they left horses behind, since travel by river was now the best kind. Their new friends, the Nez Perce, had tips they could use and taught the explorers to build dugout canoes. The crew went to the forest and cut down pine trees, then made sturdy boats with their friends' expertise. To hollow the trunks, they stoked fires inside, and before Ellis knew it, they had a new ride. The expedition moved west through the difficult terrain, steep mountains, rough rivers, and wide open plains. Then one day, the voyagers reached the Pacific. Ellis was thrilled. Exploring was terrific. The travelers had gone as far as they could go, blazing new trails for America to grow. They stayed through the winter to enjoy what they'd found, and when spring finally came, well, they were homeward bound. Slowly, brave settlers moved into the West, forming new territories as they progressed.
Yeah, they just walked over, and you know those Mandans and all those other tribes, they were like, welcome, we're neighbors now. And that's why when you go outside, you see millions upon millions of Native Americans in your everyday life in modern America. They just walked over. There was nothing there. The Mandans decided that they were like, yeah, you know what, we want to move, actually. You know what, please take our old home. We have too much land, please take it.
Before long, they petitioned to be states too, admitted to the Union full of red, white, and blue. Ellis gave it some thought and quickly concluded that all of these people just couldn't be excluded. Soon the nation grew past the original 13, from coast to coast and everywhere in between. America had become such a large nation that traveling through it took real innovation. This was a challenge Robert
Are we gonna get an update on those groups that helped Lewis and Clark? Like, how they doing?
Fulton understood. He invented a steamboat and changed the country for good. Ellis learned that steamboats quickly filled the rivers, traveling north and south with cargo to deliver. Ships were loaded with goods, passengers, and mail.
Also, pretty sure there was like a war in there to take a lot of Mexican territory. You're gonna just jumping off of that one? Like that didn't happen?
The Mississippi bustled when they all set sail. Soon wagon trains headed west, full of pioneers who bravely left their homes in search of new frontiers. Many families made the leap, excited by the chance to build themselves a better life in the great expanse. Ellis was inspired by those unafraid to explore,
We were
risking
invited?
all they
Wonderful.
had in search of something more. They'd carried freedom forward, and now Ellis could see how they'd forged a growing nation united by liberty. The end. We love this book, not only because Ellis
Do I think children should be taught? I think you can explain adult concepts to children in a way that they can understand. Like, hey, we did a lot of mean things to Native Americans. We took a lot of their stuff. Like you can explain it without like getting into details about all the details of the Trail of Tears. You can have those adult conversations. You don't need to just come like completely like whitewash it until they get 8th grade, and then we say we're going to introduce you to something you never heard about before, slavery. You know.
the elephant is an adorable adventure.
Well, okay. Well, that was an adorable adventure, okay? You know what, guys? I think I graduated. I think I graduated from K to 2nd grade. I think I'm going to move on, guys. Well, goodbye, all my fellow classmates in kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade. We're moving on. Moving on to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. I want to see what's going on over here. Well, it looks like we only have one option, and that's Leo and Layla's History Adventures. Great, let's...
Hi, I'm Leo.
Oh, God.
And I'm Layla.
Oh my God, I do not like how... I don't like her
Hi,
eyes.
I'm Leo. And I'm Layla.
I don't like how she twitched. She reminds me of the villains in Resident Evil, like
Hi,
the woman.
I'm Leo. And I'm Layla.
Ugh.
We love to go on adventures and learn about history.
History, isn't that sort of boring?
Listen up, Layla. Learning about history is awesome.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Because, Layla, there's so many amazing people that lived before us that shaped our world.
I hate how every part moves independently. It's like there's no like unity in their bodies.
And we're going to meet all of them.
You got it, little bro.
Come on, join us on PragerU's show.
Leo and Layla's History Adventures.
And don't forget to watch all the other great videos by PragerU.
Yeah, but watch ours first.
Oh yeah.
Please, after finishing Lilo and Layla, let us explain to you how racism went away after 1965. God, you would think with all the money PragerU has, they'd also be able to invest in like some audio equipment. Okay, well, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade was easy. Let's get to 6th grade. Let's see what the important things 6th graders need to learn about. Oh, we actually got a bunch of videos here. Oh my goodness. How to take care of an American flag. How to not be a screen addict. How to have conversations with real people. These are the important things you need to learn. These are the 3 priority videos they decided to just steamroll through. How to fold a flag, how to not look at your iPhone, and how to have real conversation. This really was thought up by Dennis Prager. Because out of all the priorities of the things he could teach people, whether it be like how to do taxes, maybe that could have been something important or something like that, he decides like, put down the Flappy Bird and like look at look at people and have a real conversation. Why would you be playing the Fruit Ninja on your phone when you could be folding an American flag? Let's see how to have real conversations with real people.
Do you want to celebrate your birthdays alone? Is the idea of having a job you love boring to you?
I love this job. I'm bored.
Then don't watch this video. But if for some crazy reason the idea of having actual friends and jobs that you love and meaningful relationships sounds great to you, you need to master the art of having conversations with real people. 4 tips is all you need to start having conversations.
Okay, so now they're just making like YouTube. Now this is just feels like this is just generic white man YouTube video. This feels like a YouTube ad. Yeah, exactly. This feels like a YouTube ad. This is absolutely bizarre. This is what you get from 6th grade. So you go from Lula and Layla teaching you history to stop looking at your phone. Speak to me when I'm looking at you and talking to you. Look me in the eyes. You better fold that flag properly. Truly, PragerU has its priorities in order on what the youth should be studying these days. Read about the achievements and challenges faced by the former British Minister and Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher. Let me read her story. So where's the section on illegal death squads in Northern Ireland? Well, what about striking coal workers? Huh. Oh my God, they actually do talk about this. Domestically, Thatcher sought to limit the power of the trade unions because she believed they didn't allow their members to have a say in important decisions. No, that's not why. That's not why she didn't fought the trade unions. She fought the trade unions because they were fighting against business interests. Oh, it's slow. It slides from Lula and Layla to Margaret Thatcher was a patriot fighting for freedom. In 1984, she stood her ground. She stood her ground like she's a brave warrior in a year-long miners' strike. I am actually blown away they talk about it. I'm even more blown away that they're able to give it this pivot. Her government protected workers who wanted to go to work. Even the miners' union insisted on cloning the mines. Her government applied pressure to the unions by fining them when they held illegal strikes. A year later, when the union had been defeated, the miners gradually returned to work. She's painting it like they're painting it like Margaret Thatcher was a hero for sending the cops to beat the shit out of miners who striked. And then like, well, it was illegal, so whatever. It was okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm a little blown away by that one. I didn't expect them to be that blatant. Damn. Well, everybody, that's PragerU, and that's what they're gonna give to your kids. Oh, and coming soon, Ayn Rand's a review of her life and best-selling author and philosopher. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be great.